All right. Well, I'm joined here by Danny May Palmer. Oh, I've already messed it up. I can't believe I stumbled out the gate.
So close.
Danny May Palmer. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. No
I'm going to be blushing now for the entire time. Um, well, first of all, let's take a minute to appreciate that name. It sounds like a character out of a sea shanty or something. Danny
It's
May
very
Palmer.
different. Yeah, it's
It's
very
a great
different.
name. You want to be an actress, don't you?
I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been something I've always wanted to do. Yeah.
Well, it's such a great stage name, Danny May
And
Palmer.
I'm quite lucky in a way because I won't have to change my name if I do become successful in it. A lot of actors have to change their name because there could be someone else in the industry that has the same name. I don't think anyone's got my name, so I think I'm pretty lucky.
It's very good. It's good. It's got a
Mm,
good ring to it.
thank you.
Um, do you know where the name Palmer comes from?
I don't. I've looked. I looked it up years ago, but I have the memory of a goldfish, so I
Yeah.
honestly couldn't tell you.
It's something to do with like during the Crusades and when they went to the Holy Land. It was proof that they'd been. They would take a palm leaf from the Holy Land, bring it back, and
Oh,
that's why they're known as palmers.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, Danny May. Uh, should I call you Danny May, or do you prefer
Yeah, you
something
can
else?
call me Danny May or Danny, whichever you fancy,
Okay.
whichever's easiest.
Well, so you're from Devon originally.
I'm from Somerset originally. I've been living in Manchester for 4 years now, so it's a bit of they're very different places, obviously. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And your mother's from Manchester.
My mother is from Manchester. Yeah, my whole
Yeah.
family is kind of from here. I'm the only Southern baby. Yeah.
Oh, and your father is from the north as well, is he?
He is. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Right. But you've kept the Somerset accent.
Well, according to people, yeah, I've kept my accent. I mean, when I grew up in Somerset, I sounded quite well to my friends anyway. I sounded quite different to them because I had a northern mum. It was just me and my mum that grew up. She raised me, and we're very very close. I'm very lucky to have her. Um, and obviously, she's got her accent still. She's very strong, even though she's lived down there for 30 years. So I kind of took phrases from her, and
Oh, I see.
a lot of people were like, "What do you mean? What what's that? What does that mean?" I'm just like, "Well, that's what my mum says. That's how I say it."
Are you
so
an only child by any chance?
I'm an only child on my mum's side, so I do class myself as an only child, but I do have half siblings. Me and my half brother are very close. So yeah, I have got half siblings. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Few days, and I want to thank you again for doing this for the show. Um, when I scrolling, I'll just tell the viewers or listeners, depending on how they're receiving this. I was scrolling through on my smartphone, and Kate Bush is one of my hashtags that I follow.
Hmm.
I am a huge fan, um, and I had to do a double take because I was something that just I was like, I don't know, is that like a rare outtake or something? I don't know this video, and it was you, and
Yeah.
I was like, no way, that's oh my god! So I thought that was brilliant. So hats off to you there. 10
Oh,
out of
thank
10
you.
for your
Thank you.
videos.
Thank you.
Um, I should explain that Danny May here is, well, you're a huge fan,
Oh,
obviously, and you do these like impersonation videos on TikTok
yeah.
primarily, but
Yeah.
also that links up to Instagram and everything else.
Yeah.
Um, now, I so I try to see like as much of your stuff. There's a lot to take in, and um, I think I caught you doing her voice, like imitating her voice, and you did a very good job to recreate her voice.
Yeah, I think someone asked me a question and like something like, "How do you think Kate would say it?" So I tried it. It wasn't meant to come off good, but I guess it did.
Yeah, I was taken aback a bit because I know how she speaks, and I thought because I thought to myself, oh, is it just lip syncing? And I thought I didn't even think of that. But
Mm.
then you were doing a Q&A, and then all of a sudden you had that little delicate voice that she has.
High pitched voice.
Yeah.
Bless her.
I won't ask you to do it, but I thought it was very good anyway.
I think it's one of those things that I could do without thinking about it. Maybe I'm not too sure. So throughout this meeting, you never know.
All right, good. So, but another thing. So I was like, wow, this girl is damn cool. So I was looking through, and then I discovered that you got into her music a year ago or thereabouts. Is that right?
This year. It was January this year.
January this year, because of the lockdown.
Because of the lockdown, I discovered it during the lockdown. Yeah, it was. I'm very lucky in a way because I wasn't in the best place mentally. I think everything kind of just caught up with me. You kind of start to realize how serious this is, and even though I took the whole pandemic and coronavirus seriously anyway, it just kind of hit me because obviously I was made on furlough again. I'd lost my job again. Very lucky to get it back. But I was just in a very, very kind of, when are we ever going to get normality back? Is anything ever going to be back to normal?
Right.
You know? And I started. I actually discovered I'd only known 3 Kate songs of all my life. I'd known Wuthering Heights, This Woman's Work, and Babushka. And Babushka was very popular on TikTok. And I heard it, and I thought, oh, it's one of them songs that I kind of forgotten about. And
Danny, sorry, could I time out a second?
Yeah, of course.
Someone's just rang the doorbell. I'm so sorry. Hang on a second.
Okay, no problem.
Can't believe it. I've explained myself properly. Where you know that I'm living in Tokyo right now.
Yeah, I find that fascinating.
Right.
It's one of those places I've always found really fascinating. I think if I was to ever leave the UK, I would love to go, definitely.
Right. Yeah, because the reason I asked that the other day was, 1, because I live here, but 2, because this segues into the next question. Of all the Kate locations that she's been to and filmed on, and her famous, locations that you associate with her, which one would you like to go to the most?
I would. Do you mean like music videos and stuff?
Yeah, well, like for example, like I'm a big Beatles fan, and one of my hobbies is trying to go to every place that they've been to or had a famous photograph, and try and go to that place and see, or recording studio or whatever.
Yeah.
And so in Tokyo, there's quite a lot of places, and there's a famous. Kate went there in the 70s when she was at a height during the Wuthering Heights era. Have you seen the photographs of her in Japan?
I've seen the photographs and the videos, because she did a competition, didn't she, back in the 70s? Yeah.
I believe so, yeah. And she had a successful big live concert here.
Yeah, she was very successful, which is lovely, yeah.
So going back to, when you discovered Kate, let's go back there. This was a year ago, so you only knew those 3 songs.
Yeah.
And sorry, what you were saying before Postman Pat rang? What did you say? What were you saying?
I'd only known 3 songs, and it was during the lockdown, and Babushka was very popular on TikTok, and I was on TikTok a lot. It's one of them apps that I'm always on. You say you're going to spend about 10 minutes on there, and it ends up being like 3 hours. And it was one of them songs that I'd kind of forgotten about because my mum always used to listen to it. And I thought, I remember this song. I used to love this song. So I started listening to it again. And then, I thought, she's actually... Because I'd always known about Kate Bush, but I'd never really appreciated her music.
Yes.
So I went over to YouTube and I watched the music video and I thought she was absolutely gorgeous. She still is. She's just incredible.
Yeah.
And then I went to Spotify and I started listening to just random songs before I listened to an actual full album, and it's just it's like she casts a spell on you. Once you discover her and start listening to her music, there's just no going back.
Yeah, really, that's exactly right. That's the best way to put it. She puts a spell on you, and you either get it or you don't.
That's what I mean. You either get it or you don't, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, I still got all the memories of hearing her songs for the first time. They're so vivid.
It's so vivid. It's a very special discovery, I think.
Yeah.
Like you said, you either get it or you don't. And each of her songs are so different to each other, and each of her songs tell a story. And what I love as well is I think she's mentioned in the past in interviews and stuff that she wants no album to be the same. And I think she's done a very great job of that, because to me, no album sounds the same. They're all completely different and they all tell their own story, which I love. Yeah.
That's I never thought of that before. Yeah, but she's good at doing that.
She's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, she's one of those. Hands down, if you said who's your favorite male artist, it might be Dali or something. And if you said who's your favorite female artist, it would be Kate Bush, hands down.
Yeah, to me, now she's my favorite artist, I think, of all time. I've always loved music. I've always grown up with music, but I've never really felt a connection to an artist before, like in a way that I have with Kate. So it's really special, I find.
Well, you've picked a good one.
I have picked a good one, yeah.
I'm very happy about it.
Yeah.
So what was your taste like before? You were always into retro music.
I don't really have a taste. I've always said I don't really require a taste. I've kind of, I love 80s, 70s, 80s music. I love heavy metal and rock. I love country music. And it's just because my mum's the same. She doesn't really require a taste. It's just if you hear a song or an album and you really like it and you're kind of drawn to it, to me, that's everything. But I've always, I love bands like Black Sabbath, and I love Janis Joplin, and new artists. I love Cheryl Cole, and it's just like that's why it's so mixed, like extremely mixed. Yeah.
Right. Because well, it's great, and it's that's what our show is about. And funnily enough, we started our show because of the pandemic.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. We knew that we couldn't socialize ordinarily, so we thought, well, let's do this. And so you've always been a bit of a retro kid. You've had an eclectic taste.
I've always been very different, I find. I think that's why I didn't really get along with people too well in school. I mean, I did. They didn't get along with me.
Yeah.
I've always been quite different. I've always not so much stood out, but I've never been a really normal kid, and I'm still not really a normal adult. I like a lot of things that people my age wouldn't like, and obviously growing up in quite a Generation Z time, or X, or whatever generation I am, it was very like people didn't like it. They didn't like you being different, and especially because I'm from such a small town originally, it wasn't cool to stand out. So now I've moved to Manchester, it's a lot better for me.
Yeah, I imagine it would be. Yeah. May I ask, or you don't have to say, but you were born after. Yeah, you're only like 25, aren't you? Something.
I'm 23. Yeah, I'm nearly 24.
Yeah.
I'm 97. Yeah.
Well, 1997.
Yeah.
So I think 1997. So yeah, your generation. It depends how you look at it, but your Generation Z, or the beginning of the millennials, I guess.
It's something like that, yeah. I don't really understand all the terms.
No, it gets on my nerves, to be honest.
It kind of gets on my nerves a bit, because I mean, I know I'm late 90s. I just say I'm a late 90s baby, and but I've always said I feel like I should have been born in like the 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
I just never really, like I said, I never fitted in, and I always stood out, but for all the wrong reasons.
So now that you've discovered this look and her music, and you're just having a great time on that thing, your profile's just lit up, hasn't it?
It's crazy. I never expected it, and I kind of I've been told I look like Kate since I was about 15, but it was always one of them what I thought, no, I don't see it, because I always just, even now, I see it, but I don't, because I look in the mirror and I just see Danny, I don't intend to look like a certain person. I take great inspiration from her, yeah, but I don't want to be her. I could never be her. You know, there's only one Kate Bush, and I just, you know, I take, like I said, I take great inspiration from, especially when I do videos, her facial expressions and her costumes. But I'm just me, and it's nice that people can see that and don't just think, oh, it's just a Kate Bush wannabe, which I've had before. I've had a lot of people say that, but I just ignore them now, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's not the point, is it? I mean, you do a very
No.
good job of it.
Thank you.
Do you enjoy singing, by the way?
I haven't sang properly in a very long time. I used to sing quite a lot when I was in college and school and stuff. I used to, I had a very good friend of mine who used to put on shows, and I used to sing in some of the shows. So I haven't sang properly in a very long time. It's very hard for me to sing, especially I live in a very kind of, I live in a small flat, and I'm between two other flats. And we have very thin floors and very thin walls, so I can't really, especially if I'm home alone, I can't really belt out any songs. But I really enjoy singing. Yeah, I've always loved singing.
Right, I see.
Yeah.
And when the Corona thing is over, if and when it finishes, are you going to pursue acting?
Yes, that is my main goal in life. I'm very happy at the moment. I'm very happy in my job. I work in clothing retail, and to a lot of people that will probably be a living hell, but I'm very lucky to work with amazing people. I have amazing managers and just amazing people around me. I'm very privileged to have that job. But obviously it's not what I want to do for the rest of my life. It's not what I'm driven for. I am driven for acting and performing, or just being in the industry. I'm really driven for it. I always have been.
I see. What would it be an ideal role for you?
Well, I've always loved comedy. Even though it's very, very hard, I've always loved doing comedy, and I was always the one in college, because I went to a performing arts college. I was always the one getting the comedic roles, and I'm not too sure why, but in the end I got a bit annoyed about it, because I thought I want to do something serious now, because I love doing serious acting as well. So just as long as there's a good script, and as long, you know, as it makes sense and I'm fitted for it, I'm happy doing whatever, you know, that comes. Really.
I think that's a really good sign, though, because all my favorite actors are comedians to begin with, but they've gone off to do drama. Yeah. So I think if you've got the chops for comedy, I think you can do anything.
Yeah, I enjoy all aspects of it. I really do, and it's like I said, I think when you're so driven for something, you shouldn't be too picky. As long, like I said, as long as there's a good script and there's a good story, that's all that matters to me. And as long as the character is someone that I can in somewhat relate to, not completely, because I mean every character is different, completely different to who you are, but you kind of have to think, okay, I can play that character, and I can step out of who I really am and become that character, and take life experiences that I've had really and put it into the character.
Is there a famous role that you would love to do?
No, I don't think so. I've never really. I mean, if there's ever a film made about Kate, obviously I'd love to play her. I mean, we can't dream too big now, can we? But no, not really. I've just, like I said, anything that comes up, I'm more than happy to do. A good film, I think, would be great, or a good drama series.
Yeah. Well, I got a shock when I saw your non-Kate photographs, like before, before January.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, right, yeah, you sort of get a sense of like, okay, that's who you are. You know, that's the real Danny.
Yeah.
Could I ask, what's the tattoo on your arm? What does it say?
Oh, I can't really lift it up. Stress is a bit thing, but I have a tattoo here, basically. I'm trying to lift the sleeve up, but it's not really happening. I have a signature. You can't really see it, but I have a signature on my wrist. Yeah.
Yes.
And then I have the lyric at this moment here from Jig of Life. I have that as well.
Where's the lyric?
It's from Jig of Life.
No, but where is it on your body?
Oh, it's literally just here. It's below my elbow crease.
Oh, okay. And is it Kate's signature?
It's Kate's signature. Yeah, I asked someone from. Yeah, I mean, obviously she didn't sign it for me, but
no.
someone who received a letter from her back in the 80s. Her signature was at the end of it, and I messaged them and I was just like, sorry if you find this a bit weird, but is it okay if I can possibly have the signature to have it tattooed? And they were completely okay with it. They were like, yeah, of course. So I got that done, yeah.
I thought it was, but I thought it's got to be her signature. But when I looked at another photograph and I saw it, it didn't. Well, anyway, so it is. So that's good.
Yeah.
So, "Jig of Life" is your favorite song?
It's one of my favourite songs. My all-time favourite song of Kate's is This Woman's Work. But Jig of Life, it's a song that I think when I first started getting into Kate, it's one of the first songs that I listened to, and it's one of the first songs that me and my mum listened to together, because I've got my mum into Kate as well.
Oh yeah.
So that's good. But I love it. There's always been something about that lyric that I've always really liked. So I just thought, why not? I'll get that put on me.
What is it about This Woman's Work that you love so much? Because that's one of her later songs, and it was a single, but it's not that well known, I think.
It was. It's the first song actually that I ever heard of Kate's. I mean, a lot of people's first songs that they ever hear of is Wuthering Heights and stuff. But I heard that song for the first time when I was about 8 or 9, because it was on an advert here in the UK. It was on a charity advert, and I just fell in love with it. And it's always been one of those songs that's been on my playlist. Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
And that's from the Red Shoe Diaries, isn't it?
It's from Sensual World.
Sensual World. Yeah. I have trouble confusing those two albums. And I felt really like out of it when I was doing research and refreshing my brain of their music and stuff, and I thought, yeah, I really need to go back and listen to them all, from the beginning. And I've forgotten so much. It's terrible. I felt so embarrassed interviewing you.
That's the thing. I think she has so much. She's given us so much, over the years. I think a lot of people don't realise that she's given us more than a lot of people, I think, would. I mean, she's been working since she was a teenager.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people bang on about, she owes us a new album, and it's like, no, she doesn't owe us anything. Look at the art that she's already given us, and how much she's helped people through her music, and like I said, the stories that she's told. She doesn't owe us anything. She owes herself a good life, and that's what I'm hoping she's having. A new album would be brilliant, but I'm happy with what we've already got out there.
Well, she seems to be back. I think she's been quite productive recently. I mean, I remember I was a fan, and it seemed like what was like a 10-year hiatus between Ariel and the one before. What was the last one before Ariel? Was
Red Shoes?
Red Shoes. And I remember seeing that real time, and because I was born in 1980, so I remember. I still have early memories of like her 80s stuff, and then the 90s Kate, and then just I really got into her in like must have been 2000, I guess, yeah. And then just nothing, and I thought, oh, she's totally gone complete recluse, and you never saw her. There was no photographs of her ever during that time. I mean, I'm sure there are somewhere. I'm sure you've seen them, but in those days, you could never see her anywhere. There was, even like award ceremonies, she was reluctant to go to, as I understand it. But
oh, definitely. I think it's obviously because, I mean, she had. I don't know what she went through in the 90s, but I know she lost a lot of people, and she was doing the Red Shoes at the time. And obviously she did the film The Line, the Cross and the Curve. And I think when you're suffering, because I've dealt with grief, when you're dealing with grief, but then you're focusing on other things, eventually that grief kind of catches up to you. And it's just, I mean, that happened to me when I lost my dog, for example. I was still working, I was trying to get on with normal life, but then you've got to take time to grieve. I feel like you can't shrug it off, otherwise it's just going to come back and hurt you even more, I find. And then obviously she had Bertie, her son, So I just feel like she just became a mum, which is lovely. And I mean, she
Yeah,
was still,
yeah,
from what I've read and what I've heard in interviews, she was still writing songs. I think King of the Mountain she wrote in something like '95, but then obviously it didn't become a single until Ariel was released. So
right.
yeah,
Well, I mean, I just can't believe how knowledgeable about her you are in the space of it's not even a year has passed, really, has it? Has it?
no, it's only been a few months.
Yeah, from
Yeah,
January of this year, you meant.
yeah,
Wow.
January, yeah, yeah. I don't
This
know
year,
whether
so
that's a good
it's
thing.
only 7 months.
Yeah, but I don't know whether
You've
it's a
must
good
have
thing that
been
I know so much.
you've like properly Johnny Five downloaded all that information rapidly, haven't you?
I think it's because I'm on like a lot of groups on Facebook and stuff, and I see a lot of people kind of misinterpreting her life and kind of thinking, oh, well, she can't be bothered to do this. She took 12 years off because she didn't want to make music anymore. And I just find like you need to, I think a lot of people need to know, you know,
Yeah.
know
I
these kind of things to kind of say, actually, no, she was dealing with this, blah, 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 you know.
I couldn't believe actually when I was doing research for these questions and I was adding different Kate accounts. And then I came across this one. It was the most bizarre thing I'd ever seen. It was like I'm not even going to say what it's called or anything, but it was just the most bizarre, unnecessary, spiteful, hateful account. And I guess I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen any sort of like other artists that got so much hate. I thought, what, why, what is wrong with you? You know?
I think people do. I mean, a lot of her fans actually are very young, which is great. I think it's amazing that she has a whole new generation of fans
Yeah,
now. I think
that's
it's
music to my
incredible.
ears. Yeah,
Yeah, it's amazing. But a lot of her fans, I mean, I've seen some that are like 12, 13 years old, and I've seen some accounts that kind of think it's funny to make these kind of memes, as you'd say.
yeah,
um, and just to come across as being funny, but in reality, it's just like, no, why would you post that? It's very disrespectful. Um, yeah, I've seen a lot of people be disrespectful towards Kate, and I don't like it. I'm always one to jump in there and say, you don't know her, I don't know her, but I feel like through her music, I know her well enough to kind of you know
mm,
prove you wrong, really. Because I mean, a lot, like I said, a lot of people think. I've seen a lot of people say that she's lazy now and she doesn't want to do anything. It's just like, no,
yeah.
she has
That's what
passionate.
I'm getting at. That's the
Yeah,
type of thing that I noticed the most, and I couldn't understand it, and I thought, but she's been recording, as you said, since like the early '70s
yeah,
as a kid, as a young teen,
yeah,
and you think, well, give her a break. You know, it's like what like she owes you any albums. You know, it's like, don't you have enough? Just be
yeah.
glad that there's new stuff all the time. It's
That's what
ridiculous
I mean. And
attitude.
like, yeah, like you said, I think she's been very productive, especially in the past few years. I feel like she's had a very productive decade. I mean, she did 50 Words for Snow and Director's Cut, and then she did the shows in London, and she's done so many remasters. But it doesn't that I mean, it's great, but that doesn't matter to me. It's she doesn't owe us anything, like you said. Look how long she's been working for.
Well, let's forget those haters. We don't need them in
We
our
don't need
conversation.
haters in our lives, no.
No, we don't need them. No,
No,
horrible.
no.
Um, did you have a chance to see? Have you ever seen her live or any of her shows or anything?
No, and I wasn't a fan when she did Before the Dawn. Obviously, like I said, I've always known about Kate, but I wasn't into her music then. I didn't know
Mm.
too much about her. But it's funny because I remember it so well. I think I was just turning 17. I think she did the show on my birthday. So I was 16, 17, but I remember the hype of it so well because everywhere I looked, she was on the TV, she was on the radio, she was in the papers. It was so big.
Mm.
Because obviously she hadn't done really live shows like she did since '79.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I remember it very well, but unfortunately, I wasn't a fan then, which I now regret.
Yeah, no, sorry, I keep forgetting of how uh, the corona and everything and how there's been no live shows. It was a silly question. Well, let me ask you this. So how about let's talk fashion right now. You seem to have replicated a lot of her looks already.
Yeah.
I've lost count of how many, but is there any particular piece, or is there something that you want to do next that is really hard to find? Or
I'm very lucky to have a friend who is an incredible fashion designer. She's very good at making costumes, very good at making clothes. And I've asked her for Halloween, but if it's done before Halloween, obviously I'll make videos and stuff. I've asked her if she can do the babushka outfit for me. Because that's one I found. I think it's very hard. You can't find it anywhere because I always thought it's a very iconic outfit. There must be replicas of it somewhere, but there isn't. So that's one. Yeah.
Well, my podcast partner in crime, he'll be very happy because that's his favorite song. I think that song did very well in the States, and that's why. Yeah, that's why he knows it. It's actually, I've grown to like it, but yeah, it was one. I think it was my least favorite song actually of that early era and stuff. Yeah. But no, I've really grown to love it now. But that video is so bizarre. It's about a woman in Russia, isn't it?
It's about a woman who thinks her husband.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm wrong, but I believe that she thinks her husband's having an affair.
Yeah.
Or just doesn't find her attractive anymore. So she starts writing him these letters from Babushka, and that's the part in the song where she's all in black is how she is, and then Babushka is who she becomes. I believe in the letters.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure, but I kind of get the whole basis of it. Yeah.
But I think it's based on some sort of Russian story or something. The word babushka is Russian. Yeah. But I just don't understand what this like Conan the Barbarian outfit that she has on has got to do with it. Yeah. But it's like that's what babushka looks like. I just can't imagine.
I've seen the inspiration, I think, behind the outfit, and it's I can't remember where it's from, but I have seen like the original pictures of an outfit that's similar. So she must have. Well, I'm not sure if she did, but she must have taken inspiration from that, I guess. But I think, obviously, like I said, she wanted to come across as this kind of woman that's aged. Obviously, she has the black veil over her face. She's not attractive anymore, and then she becomes that more attractive version of the person who she was before. Yeah.
I see. How about are there? If you could own like. Oh, I suppose I should ask you first. Do you actually collect any Kate Bush memorabilia, or is it just, keeping it to music and fashion?
I have like a few T-shirts, and people have been very nice actually, and I've mainly been sent things, which is crazy. But I mean, people on Facebook that have messaged me and said, "Oh, I have all these magazines. I don't need them anymore. Do you want them? I'll send them you for free." So obviously, I'm like, yeah.
Wow, get you.
So I have a lot of magazines, and I also have on my wall in my bedroom, I have these pictures, like clippings from newspaper articles back in the 70s and 80s. So they're very vintage.
Okay.
And
wow.
I was also someone was nice enough to send me some confetti from Before the Dawn. So I've got quite a few things, yeah. But I do want to start collecting records because I don't have a vinyl player yet. So.
All right, I was going to say, because that was the first thing. That's what I was crazy about. Was as soon as I got to Japan, I realized that Japan is possibly simultaneously the worst and best place to collect things. You can find them very easily, but you've got no space to display it. But I just started hitting the vinyl record stores, and I was so happy. And when I discovered Kathy's home demos, that was the first time I'd ever heard of that.
Yeah.
I presume you've heard all the rare stuff like that the bootleg
Yeah,
stuff. You
I
must have
listened to
done.
that not long ago. Yeah, it was the
Yeah,
first time I listened to it. It really wasn't that long ago, but I thought it's incredible to hear what she was producing before she became well known to the public eye, and it's just I found it really adorable hearing like 16, 17-year-old Kate Bush on the piano. I think it's really sweet.
yeah. Well, in those days, I was really interested in amateur filmmaking and stuff, and I was starting to make these little short surrealist films and stuff, and I was looking for a name for the whole group of them, and um, there's a lot of Kate Bush isms in
Mm.
the films and the titles, and I was thinking, I just want like a quintessential English word or something or phrase, or what can I do? I was just racking my brains, and then just as it happened, uh, my iTunes was on random, and it just went to Lionheart. So I took that Lionheart Films and Jim Lion. That's why it says Jim Lionheart on my.
Oh,
That's where that comes from.
yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I was just I was like,
Okay.
yeah, she's so quintessentially English, and
She is. Yeah,
if you listen to her portfolio, she hops around English history
yeah.
and stuff, and I
It's
love that
incredible.
about her.
Yeah,
Um, and one of my short films is called Nevertheless, which is from the Kathy's Home Demos.
yeah.
That's where I got that from.
I like that.
I was listening to that again today, and I thought, yeah, this could be possibly my favorite of her entire collection. Like I could listen to that all the time, just her
Yeah,
and the piano, and that's it. I just wish
that's
the
what I love.
quality was a bit better.
Yeah, the quality, I think it'd be lovely if it's improved, but at the same time, I think the quality of them give them that kind of
Yeah,
um like retro effect, like kind of how old they are, and I think that's really
yeah,
special because you know how long ago it was.
yeah. Gives it that
But
kind of spooky, ghostly sound in the attic.
yeah, but I
I
think
like.
that's why I love 50 Words of Snow a lot, and I think it's one of her more underrated albums because it is more her and the piano, and I think Kate and the piano is the most special duet of all time.
Mm,
Um, I could literally, if she announced shows and it was just her playing the piano, I would pay any money to go see her. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. I'd be
mm.
really happy. I just think it's very, very special.
Well, because she's come out and she's doing these remastered things, and she seems to be. I don't know. Do you think that her days of being reclusive are finished, and she's coming back out now, so to speak?
I don't know. I don't think she was ever really reclusive. I just think she's very, very private. And I think if I was in the public eye and if
Mm,
I was well known, I would want to be the same. I'd want to keep my private life private, and I'd want to keep myself away from paparazzi or the
mm,
public. I wouldn't want to be in the papers all the time. I'd want to just be living my life so
mm.
normally, and then doing whatever I do, my work.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not too sure. I feel like something is coming. I've said that since I started listening to her, but I just feel like all these kind of articles that are coming out relating to her, all these remasters, I do feel like there could be something at the end of it.
Mm.
I don't think she's going to be quiet for much longer, but that's just my personal opinion. I mean, people I've said that to people, and they're like, "How do you know?" And I'm just like, "I don't know," but that's just how I feel.
That's just
Yeah,
that your gut instinct tells you.
yeah,
Well, I hope you're right. Yes.
yeah. It'd be lovely.
Um, what is your favorite music video of hers?
My favorite music video, I think I have three. One of them is Sensual World. I
Uh
just
huh.
think she is incredibly beautiful in that video, and I just think um, it's so simple yet so effective. She's just dancing through a forest, and I kind of look at it and I think, oh, I wish I was that carefree.
I'm
um,
having trouble picturing it now. Actually,
yeah,
what
she's
is
in
she?
that. It's like a red velvet dress, and she's got like this gorgeous hat on. She's literally just dancing through a forest. She's having a good time. Yeah.
All right. Okay. It's having a good
um,
time.
she's having a good time just dancing through a forest, but it's absolutely beautiful.
I'm gonna have a quick look at it. But go on. What were the other two?
Well, the other two, this woman's work, obviously, I think the storytelling in that video is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love The Big Sky. I just think that song and the video just makes me really happy. It's a very happy song. It's a very feel good song. Um,
Ah,
yeah, I always listen to
God.
it when I'm feeling down.
Okay, I didn't. Um, yeah, I didn't even know there was a video for that one.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay. Well,
yeah, it's really nice.
I'm gonna brush up on that for sure. Um, yeah. God, I totally forgot about the Central World video.
Yeah, I think she looks absolutely beautiful.
Do you know what year that was?
I believe it was 89. I might be right. It was either 89 or 90, or something like that.
Love it. I think that I wish I'd prepared a quiz for you now because I think that I can't believe how good you are with the facts. Yeah, I think you're right. 1989. Amazing.
89, yeah.
Um, are there any? Do you have any favorite interviews that she's done, or that you would
Um,
recommend as her best?
she did an interview back in 2016.
Hmm.
I can't remember off the top of my head who it was with, but I think it was the BBC Radio 6. Forgive me, I can't remember the interviewer, but I think
Okay.
that I think that was such a genuine interview. It was about Before the Dawn and just kind of her life and stuff. But I really like her more later interviewed. I feel like she's respected more. Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
they're not as because I mean a lot of them, Night Flight for example, are just so cringe to watch. Not on her half, but I mean just the questions that she's being asked, and they kind of all a lot of
Which
them are
which one was that? Nightline? Did you say?
Night Flight. It was an interview she did in America back in the 80s. It was during the Hounds of Love era.
Hmm.
But it's very painful to watch. Yeah.
And is that because of the questions or?
It was the lack of knowledge. There was just no knowledge there, and they were asking a very weird kind of silly questions. I mean, like at the end, they kind of asked her what she finds, the most attractive in a man, and I'm just like, what's that got to do with the music? Why are you
Oh
asking these kind
no.
of things? That's what it always. People were always kind of not always, but a lot of the time they were kind of basing it more of her looks and her
Yeah.
sexuality. And I'm just
Oh
like, I
no.
don't like that. It should be about the music, nothing else. I was
It's
just like,
like it's like a purposefully, you know, badly. It's like an episode of The Office or something. It's like
yeah,
purposefully written that way.
yeah.
You can't believe that someone would actually ask that.
I genuinely can't believe it. And you can, bless her heart, you can see in her face that she's not happy about what she's
She's
being
gutted.
asked, but she's still so sweet. I mean, if that was me, I probably would have walked out or would have been like, I can't deal with this. But it's Kate, isn't it? She handled it like a pro.
Is it I forget his name. Is it Thomas Hardy, the guy that was the very? Is that his name? Not Tom Hardy, but the who's that gay guy in the 80s? It's like had a Wogan type of interview show, like a Michael Aspel type of show. But it's
I
this
know
vet,
she did do one with Michael Aspel. I'm not
yeah,
sure.
but not
Yeah.
him, but that type of show with just the seats and the um. But it was like I think it was when must have been just after her first or second album, and he's Alan Bates's friend. Let me see if I can find it. I'm sure his name is Thomas Hardy or something Hardy.
Yeah.
Uh, no, Thomas Hardy's a, a writer, isn't he? Ah, well, anyway, he that interview makes me cringe.
Mm.
Um, if you haven't seen that, I recommend that. Um, he says, "Well, now you've taken us to Bronte country, and you've taken us to what is it? Who wrote Peter Pan? Barry country and said, "Where are you going to take us next?" I was like, "Oh God."
I know it's a lot of literally a lot of the interviews I find so cringy. But I mean, at the time, I think it was more accepted to kind of
Yeah, I
be
just yeah.
a lot of them are very sexist. I find nowadays, I find anyway. Um,
Mm.
Kind of you get the successful woman, and they just kind of want to base it on her looks and like I said, like her sexuality. And I'm just like, why can't you just do a normal interview just about her music and praise her for how successful she's becoming? You know?
I'm just no, I do know. Yes, I just realized, is she vegetarian?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. Are you vegetarian?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wicked. Yeah, yeah. I
Well,
believe so.
I know. I have to say, I'm pescatarian, not to make the true, because they get angry at me if I say. Although I did research into it, I wrote an email to the head of the vegetarian the World Vegetarian Society in America, and I got an email back from the president, and she said, "No, you are vegetarian. Rest assured, you are vegetarian. There are three branches of vegetarianism, and you are one of them. So don't let anyone tell you otherwise." I was like, "Oh, that's very nice of you."
Yeah.
Um, yeah. God damn it, I can't find that interview. But anyway, I'll try and find it. And I'll try and send you the link. It's like it's that
Yeah.
type of Terry Wogan, Mike Aspel type of show.
Right.
And okay, and is there once you well, you've got to get a record player. I
I do.
encourage
I
you.
really want one. I really want one. But I think my main thing at the moment, because my birthday's in September, and
Okay.
I've asked for a keyboard because I want to start playing keyboard again. So that's kind of the next
Ah,
thing. Yeah,
okay. Well, I'm
yeah, and
sure when people see this interview, they're going to be sending you records through the post, and a record player, I don't doubt.
no, I'll definitely save up for one. But I want a good one. I mean, a lot of them are about that I've seen that are like 30, 40 quid. But then my friends that are into collecting vinyls and stuff, they always say to me, "No, you don't like the briefcase ones. Apparently, they're quite bad for your records."
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I used to collect those type of gimmicky record
mm,
players. I've got about five of them here.
yeah,
Yeah, but I like them personally. I think they're kitsch and they're cute. I like them. But
I think
yeah,
they're
they're not.
adorable.
If you're a serious music listener, they're not gonna do it. But if you just want to listen in your bedroom, they're fine. There's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with them. Yeah.
I used to have one like that. I did used to have a record player, but I don't know why I got rid of it. But I did get rid of it. So I just need to save up for a new one now.
I wanted to show you my record collection of hers and show you the
Okay.
Japanese covers and stuff, but you've already seen them. But they're at the other studio. I only have two singles, just
Oh,
just the originals that I had as a kid. Wuthering Heights, and which has got Kite on the back on the B side,
oh,
and what's the other one? Man with the Child in His Eyes. Favorite song of Midge from what you call it, Ultravox or whatever he was in. And what's that one? What's the B side to that? Oh, well, we'll find out later. Is there are there any rare items or records that you would want? Suppose you can get anything you want now on the internet, can't you?
you can, yeah, you can get anything you want on the internet. I'm not sure about rare. I think, I mean,
Well,
obviously, I have things
hmm.
like the confetti from Before the Dawn. I think that's quite rare.
Yeah, what?
Um,
Yeah, you just skimmed over that. You can't skim over that. What? Somebody said, what? Who had that?
yeah, someone sent them to me. Yeah, I have three pieces. So
Somebody kept the confetti from that.
yeah, a lot
And
of people have kept them, but obviously, a lot of people don't want to sell them, which I completely understand. But
where did they
someone
get
was
it from?
I think it was the end of Before the Dawn. Her shows back in 2014. It's the confetti that came down. Yeah,
Ah,
had a gorgeous
wow.
swim on it. Yeah, it's really nice.
Okay, so I take it you have a PO box address that people can.
I don't, but these people are. I mean, the person that sent me the Before the Dawn confetti was a friend of mine, so I knew
Ah,
she wouldn't send me anything dodgy. I don't really, I don't give my address out, obviously, but if it's,
I see.
related
So,
to Kate, yeah,
oh, I see. So even better. So you've got them from people that you know and trust, and
yeah,
right. Okay. But I'm telling you, you should get a PO box ASAP
yeah.
because once this goes out, people are going to be sending you all kinds of free stuff. You know what they're like.
Yeah, I mean, I've been very, I have the people, I've just, I have no words for it really. I've been very accepted into this. I don't want to say fandom. I don't really like the word fandom, but this kind of community.
Oh,
Um, I kind of call it like a little family because we are in a way. We all love this woman. We all love her for her music and her art, and we're all. I mean, the friends that I've made, just from liking Kate is incredible. These are lifelong friends.
hmm,
And I've heard of people that have got together because of her and they've been together for about 20, 30 years. I just think it's incredible.
hmm. Oh, I
Yeah.
love your passion for it. You're very sentimental and you're very
Yeah.
genuine.
Yeah. I
I
always kind
like
of like
that.
to be quite sentimental.
Oh, yeah, I got that from your Instagram account. I could tell from your questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was I was you blew me away when I heard you talking for the first time because you do all the videos so perfectly, and Kate's very softly spoken, isn't she?
Yeah.
And then someone said like, "Do you ever swear?" And then, well, I'm not going to repeat it, but you can go and check that out yourselves, listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I think it's
this is the girl that I imagined how you're talking now. Is
yeah.
this the sweet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite bad.
don't,
I've always
pay no attention to me though. That's just me.
Oh no,
I'm just
I
an old
think people.
conservative
No,
fool.
I think people just think that, they kind of. But I mean, I can't. I've been swearing since. I mean, it's not good. I don't say to people start swearing when you're young, but I always have, and it's kind of it's like a release of anger for me,
Yeah, no, no,
like
no. Of course, of
get
course.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Are there any songs that you have difficulty shining to, or are they just they're all fantastic? Or
The one, I mean, people find this a bit weird, but the one that I kind of did have difficulty with was Pi, and I think that's because I'm very dyslexic with numbers. I've
what
got a
is that on Ariel? That one?
Yeah, that's on Ariel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the. I think it's brilliant, and I think it's amazing how someone can create a piece of music that's just dedicated to numbers. I don't think anyone's ever done that before. So I think the concept of it is incredible. But then, I mean, the first few times I was listening to it, I was getting stressed out because I'm like I said, I'm dyslexic when it comes to numbers and words, letters and stuff, but more with numbers.
Hmm.
So it took me a while to get into that one, but I'm not so bad with it anymore. Yeah.
Okay, I need to go back and listen to it because I don't know. I when I listen to music, I it's usually just listen to all of it on random. So I should start listening to it more album based, I think. But
I'm usually the same though. A lot of it depends on the mood really. If I have enough time to sit down and listen to an album, I will listen to an album and I'll just kind of choose which one I fancy
mhm,
listening to. But if I'm like going to work and stuff, if I'm on the commute to work, I'll just put songs on at random. Yeah,
mm.
so kind of
And
half and half.
am I right in thinking that she's only done two duets, or has she done more?
Um,
And one is
I believe,
even,
I mean, she did with Peter Gabriel.
yeah,
Don't Give Up, Elton
yeah.
John, Snowden at Wheeler Street, and then 50 Words to Snow. I kind of count as a duet with Stephen Fry.
Oh, that's
Um,
right. Yeah, and
yeah,
that's right. Well, I wasn't even thinking of that. I just found out that it's not exactly a duet. It's more a it's
No.
a collaboration. But
Yeah,
I didn't know that she collaborated with Prince.
with Prince. Yeah,
Did you know that?
yeah. On Why Should I Love You?
Yeah, yeah. And get
Amazing
you, man.
song.
Ah, this I can't touch you. I can't trip you up. There's you know it all. 7 months. That's incredible.
Yeah,
So
it's a
if
bit
I
sad,
said like
really,
an
isn't it?
album, you could list the songs in order and everything.
I think so.
Yeah.
Not too sure.
Even
I think
even I have trouble doing that with the Beatles. You know, I'm not even sure. I probably could, but so how
yeah.
many albums does she have now in total?
There's 10,
10.
including director's cut. 10. Yeah.
Does that include the remastered bundle that came out recently?
No, I don't. I don't really class them. I think like new albums, like kind of um, you know, ones that she's created that are very different and new. There's been
Hmm.
10. But a lot of people don't include director's cut, but I do because
Yeah, I've
it
got
was
to say that was
massive.
a bit tough for me to get through that one, director's cut. I
I
couldn't quite see the point of it. Because I liked
Yeah,
it the first time round. What would you say to that?
no, I agree. I like obviously all the songs I love the first time round, but I understand why she wanted to do it, and I think it's really interesting to
Why did
hear
she want to
songs.
do it?
I think because at the time, from what I heard in an interview, I think anyway that she because of what she was going through at the time that
Hmm.
she did record the songs, and she
Hmm.
just felt that they were rushed. Um,
Ah, I see.
that so obviously she wanted to kind of remake them. But I think it's really interesting to hear them as she is now and her more mature voice because I mean I absolutely love her voice now. In a way, I kind of prefer her voice now to how it was. I love
Oh,
the
really?
matureness of it. I think it tells more of a story because it just shows of how much she's done, she's lived. I just love that kind of deeper voice.
Oh, well, you are mature. You are ahead of your years. You are wise in your generation, Miss Palmer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I try to be.
it's very encouraging because I hate to say it, like I mean, me and my mate who we do the podcast together, and we're both teachers. That's our main profession.
Yeah.
Is we're elementary school teachers, and we love children. But sometimes when we run into teenagers now and we look, the whole social media thing and TikTok and Snapchat and God knows what else there is. There is, well, you've made me feel a bit more hopeful for the future today.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah, it's nice to know that there's still thoughtful,
I think
people.
it's just the way I was brought up. Really, my mum's always been very open-minded,
Mm,
and she
excuse
kind
me.
of reflected that onto me. I'm a very open-minded person. I feel like if you're faced with a challenge, you can't just say, "Oh no, I can't do it." You kind of have to keep going at it until you. And if you can't, if it is impossible, it's impossible. But to me, nothing is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is impossible. Sorry. I'm like I said, I'm very open-minded, and I kind of look at things in a different way. I think
Mm-hmm.
so. That's
Um,
good.
have you ever tried? Have you ever been tempted to um, record your voice and try to, whether it be original stuff
Do you
or
mean singing?
yes, singing.
Like I said, I do. I really do want to get back into singing again. I do miss it terribly because it's like I think all aspects of performing I absolutely love. I love, like I said, acting is my main what
Mm,
I love doing. I
yeah.
love dancing. I've always loved dancing, and I love singing. And I think all of them is kind of like a release for me. It's like a kind of therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So I really would like to, and especially if I get my keyboard for my birthday, then I would like to start possibly trying to write some songs and doing some covers. Yeah, I
All
would
right.
like to do that.
Right. Right. Well, I hope you do, and I want to see. I'm looking forward to seeing where your account goes, and I hope you stick with it. And I hope
definitely.
this isn't a phase that you're going through. I hope you stick with it. I hope
Like
it's
I
not a.
said, once you discover Kate, I think that's it.
Yeah, well, you got the tattoo now, so that's it.
I've got the tattoo on March now. Yeah,
You're marked now.
yeah,
Um, well, I think. Oh, well, the last question is prior to. We did touch upon it before a little bit with your music tastes, but did you always dress in a that kind of retro way? I noticed that your fashion is kind of like indie rock
yeah.
beforehand.
I kind of went through phases of how I dress. Like that is one thing I did go through phases for. I kind of wanted to, because like I said, I was kind of different. I didn't really fit in with anyone. So the one thing that I did want to fit in with was fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd kind of dress how everyone else was dressing. And then I thought, hang on a minute, no, I'm not into this. And
Mm.
it wasn't me. I wasn't being true to who I am. I kind of just dress if I see something and I like it, I'll buy it. But I've always shopped in like charity shops and stuff. I love used clothes
Yeah.
and vintage clothes. Um, so I just kind of, if I see, like I said, if I see something and I think, oh, I could pull that off, I'll buy it. Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't want to. I don't want to end it on that. I was just thinking as I asked that. I thought, oh my god, am I just guilty of oversimplifying it and bringing it back to fashion instead of? I should be asking about the meaningful lyrics, not your fashion. I'm so sorry for that.
It's fine.
Felt very hypocritical.
No, no, not at all.
Um. Well, do you have what can we expect next? I know you've just completed your Wuthering Heights one today.
Yeah.
And it was very good. Though I was impressed how quickly you memorized the dance.
Yeah, I'm quite, to be fair, there's not a lot of my things that I'm proud of, but I am quite proud of that one because I did study that in about an hour and then I did it, I recorded it. And, I think someone said to me yesterday, they were just like, 'cause someone was kind of having a dig at me for not getting the moves right. And I was saying, I don't want to get every move right because, because that's not who I'm trying to be myself, but at the same time, pay tribute to Kate.
Yeah. No.
And someone said, well, exactly, you're not a direct tribute artist. You are a person who takes inspiration from her. And I'm just like, I couldn't have literally said that any better because
Mm,
I like to do like my own moves. And when I'm recording, I kind of do just what comes to me at the time.
mm.
But yeah, I'm quite proud of that one. But I don't know what I'm going to do next. I might do more of the wedding list or sat in your lap because I've got the costumes for those as well. I am looking at sorting a costume out for the red shoes. So we'll see.
I would love to because, as I said, I used to make short films, and I'll put them back up on my YouTube channel. Um, YouTube.com/Kamioko. I'll put the link in description, listeners. Quick plug. But yeah, hopefully one day when I return to England, I want to recreate Suspended in Gaffer.
Yeah,
That's my favorite video of
it's
hers.
incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love the choreography in that one as well. I think so.
that is just I don't know. There's no one like her. Previous to Kate Bush. I don't. Where did she come from? It's just like when you look at the history of pop music,
Yeah,
and then just out of the blue, this you know contemporary dance
yeah.
song about Emily Bronte. Is it Emily Bronte?
Emily Bronte.
It
Yeah,
is Emily Bronte. Yeah,
she wrote Wuthering Heights. Yeah.
yeah, um, yeah. But that was the first one that I saw, and
Mm,
I was only about 5, I think. I
yeah.
remember sort of bit like this on the rug on the floor, and Mum said, "Oh, you got to see this woman here, Kate Bush.
Mm.
It's really good." And she was doing this, and her eyes like that, and
Yeah.
it was, I don't know, something up here just went. I
Yeah.
think I like girls. All right,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Well,
that
Yeah.
just put me on the track for life. Then it's like the whole ghostly, gothy, you know. Oh, wonderful.
I am glad. Like, obviously, she was she's never done anything like this before. Like, I don't think anyone had ever done anything like what she was doing before. And I'm just glad that she was so accepted for it, because I mean, I think it could have gone both ways, and I think in a way it might have done. You know, people still now think she's strange, and then people, like, you either get it or you don't, like we said at the beginning. But obviously, I think as a performer aspect, how can you not get it? Like I said, she tells a story in every song that she does and every video that she's done, and I just think that's incredible. Like, who else is doing that, really?
Does it drive you mad when you see the likes of, I don't know, Lady Gaga or something, and they take everyone thinks that they're this great innovator of quirky fashion and Billie Eilish and all this type of stuff. It does me anyway, because I can see the matrix of it, and I'm like, oh, I know where you got that from. You got that from this artist, and it guarantees that all stems back to Kate Bush. She's like the Big Bang.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing, I mean, I think that I really do like Lady Gaga. I always have, and people like that. But I think the one thing that does annoy me is not so much the artist, but it's the people, like the fans, and they're
That's
comparing. They're comparing them to Kate, and I'm just like, no, you can't compare the two. They're both completely different. You can't, you know, every new artist that comes out that's quirky, like you said, or just, you know, different and doing different things, is automatically kind of compared to Kate, and I'm just like, you really can't compare the two though. They're two completely different people. Yeah, I know what you mean. That does annoy me.
Yeah, it's more. I did mean actually more people giving them the credit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that does bug me.
Yeah. All right. Well, I won't take any more of your time, and I'm sorry if I've held you up too much there, Danny. But thank you very much for the wonderful insight, and I know who to go to if I need any questions about Kate Bush.
Well, I'll try.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you so much for asking me to do this. I've never been asked to do anything like this before, so it's great.
No, not at all. And as I was going to say, as I said, I haven't said it, but we also started out in January, so we're still very much beginners. But this is something that I want to explore further. Is like the person who's because you really are, you fit so well in the Those Were the Days universe, because you love something that came before your time, number one, and you're a super fan of like that sort of retro thing. So it's wonderful, and I'm very happy to have found you and interviewed you. And if I hopefully, if you don't mind, I'd like to come back again, maybe in a year's time, and interview.
Definitely, I'm definitely down for that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, Danny Palmer. Danny May Palmer.
Yeah.
That was our long-winded conversation, but those were the days. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I just had to put that in as the cut part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry for taking up your time.
Honestly, I'm doing pretty much nothing all day, so it's absolutely fine.
All right. Well, yeah, very sweet for talking to me, and I appreciate it. And I will be sure to. Oh, is there anything that you wanted to like? Is there any particular way that you want me to credit you, or?
Honestly, it's completely up to you. I really don't mind. Just whatever's easiest for you. Yeah.
I'll just put Danny May Palmer, and I'll put both. You only have two, right? Two accounts.
Yeah, I have my main and my Kate account. Yeah.
Would you like, if you'd like me to put your TikTok account as well, I can do that too.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, if that's okay. Yeah.
Not that you need the help from us, because I mean, how many How many followers do you have now?
I've just reached 11.5 thousand.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a
On
bit
TikTok?
mental. On TikTok, yeah.
And same on Instagram, I suppose.
Instagram, I think I have 1,000. I don't know how many I've got on Instagram actually, but I have more on my personal account than I do on my Kate account. But it is slowly growing every day, which is great.
Because I don't have a TikTok. I tried it way back, and
Yeah,
I did strange things to my brain. I don't know.
yeah, it does.
I don't. I still can't quite grasp that it's happening. Like, so you listen to that, and then you move your legs about, and then you do this, and
Yeah,
then, but you're not actually singing. You just what?
yeah,
But I don't know. Hey,
yeah. It's not for everyone. I
keeps
completely
you off the
understand
streets, I guess. So
that. It does. Yeah,
yeah, which is good.
yeah,
If they were all like yours, then I'd understand it. I get the point. But the creative ones, I understand. But it's
yeah,
all this
yeah. All the weird dancing, I'm not into that.
stuff, and it's like, okay,
No, I don't want to be down with the kids too much.
yeah,
Yeah.
Anyway, but I feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So good
Oh,
on you, and keep
thank
up the good
you.
work.
I'll try.
All right. Well, I'll be keeping in touch with you, Danny May.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be nice to keep in touch with you.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.